Hello, I'm Barb Owen of HowToGetCreative.com, and today I'm going to answer the question, what is screen printing? Well, screen printing is really a very, it can be very elaborate, or screens can be very simple. And so we're going to talk about this more simple things today. Screens are created with fabric in such a way that they allow paint or ink to travel through small openings in the screen. So let me show you an example of that. This is an example of a screen, fabric screen that I made myself. And so this is fabric, and it has been, I've hand cut it. The black marker on here is just to give me a place so I could see what I was cutting. The image on here, the part where the ink passes through, is actually this little line that you see right here, and it's always marked. I always mark the screens with which side is up, because you do have to have the screen the right way around so that it will print. But everything is blocked off except that one little line. And the way it works is that you use a screen printing ink, especially on fabric. This says for fabric. And you put a line of the ink going across here. And then you use a squeegee of some type, and you squeegee this across, and the image goes through the screen, comes out on the other side, and as I said, the only part that allows that ink to go through is what you've revealed, and you end up with your image coming out on your fabric. Here's another one that I did. Actually, I've done two of these different dragonflies, and here's an example of what they look like when they're screen printed. So this is the image here. So what I did, if you pretend that that's not there, I would place the screen down here on the fabric. My ink was across the top, and then I squeegee right down, and then when you lift off the screen, this is what you see. That's what you see. Even though this whole thing will be flooded with ink, the only place it can go through is where I've allowed it to go through. Now, these screens can be created in a variety of ways. They can be created as these are hand cut. There are machines that you can get that allow you to create your screens. There is also a process of using a Thermofax. So these are Thermofax screens. So if you know someone with a Thermofax machine, you can take laser copies or printer, like a toner-based copy of some kind, and run it through, and it will burn on this special fabric. It will burn your screens, and then I just edge it with duct tape so that I have something to hang on to, and it will keep the screen flat. And it also gives you a place to put your ink before you screen it through. So I have several of these. These are all done with the Thermofax machine. So there's this one, and I'll show you what these look like printed out in just a moment. And this one. So anything that you draw, and these are very, very basic screens that I've done. These are all things that I drew. You can do very, very detailed images with a Thermofax machine. All right, so let me show you. Here's another screen that I used. This was a bird image that I did. I don't have the screen here to show you because it's actually drying. I used it earlier today. So this is what I did. This was a hand-cut screen on fabric using screen printing ink. Then you can also use them on paper. So these are done on paper, and this is using just acrylic paint because there's no point really in wasting the ink in your art journal or just messing around like I was doing here. That was literally, I was just messing around to see what the screens looked like when I pulled them. So this is a Thermofax screen using acrylic paint. This is one of the other screens that I showed you. This is a Thermofax screen. And here are the dragonflies used with the hand-cut screens. And I think that's it. I don't think I have any other ones in here. But that shows you that you can use them on paper as well as on fabric. So again, this is acrylic paint. And because they are hand done, sometimes you get little imperfections in them. You can see the imperfections here, possibly on the wings on this one. They're hand cut, they're hand created, so they're going to have the look of the hand. And here you can see all of this, what's kind of referred to, from what I refer to as background noise. That's because I didn't do a very good job creating this screen, and so I got some areas where the ink or the paint is allowed to go through. That was my fault because I didn't create the screen very well. Now, there is another kind of screen that you can use, and this is a great big one that I'm going to show you. This is actually a professional screen, and these are created with a wood frame. So this is a great big screen, and so I'm just going to kind of show you. See the wood frame. So this is from a professional screen printing company. And they were getting rid of some of their screens, and so I took some of them. So you can see some of the images on here, and these were used many times. These were done with for creating, I think it was t-shirts. So these can also be used, and there are different ways you can use something like this. Even though it's been tossed from the professional screen printers, there are ways that I can still use this here in my own studio. But I wanted you to see, I mean, this is the real deal. This is a really heavy wooden frame that allows them to use their machinery to do the printing with these. So this is one kind of screen. This is a Thermofax screen. And these are hand-cut screens. So lots of different ways that you can use, pardon me, that you can create screen printing images on things. It's a really fun thing to do. And it's just a really cool thing to add to your art arsenal of creativity, whether it's with fabric or paint or, you know, maybe mix it up and use some of each. Because I often combine fabric and paper together, and not just one or the other. So I like to do them both together. So hopefully that answers a few questions about what is a screen print and what is screen printing. It's a really cool process, and it is something that you can actually do yourself. You don't have to have a machine. You don't have to have anything fancy. You actually can do them yourself. So yeah, why not do it, right? All right, thanks for watching this little video about what is screen printing. If you enjoy what I do and what I talk to you about, please come over to HowToGetCreative.com. Check us out. We have a variety of all different kinds of creative arts video classes over there. We'd love to have you come over and check us out. I'll see you next time. My name is Barb Owen. Remember to get creative today, because you know it's easy, and I'll see you next time.